Oh, we're good.
Yes, we are. And we're recording. This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
JP, if you had a sports card of yourself, what would it be? And what would the picture look like?
It would be me behind the microphone.
And what would it be?
I don't know.
Shooting double guns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two thumbs up. Like, I don't know. Do you remember? I took a picture of you like right when we first started. I think on social media, and you did the whole double gun.
That's right.
thing. And we had the Night Owls up on the TV or something. I think that was real early when we first started getting going.
I think it might have been. Yeah, because we just started the page, and we were just doing a post.
Yeah.
Didn't I record something too?
You might have.
Nah,
I don't remember.
Yeah. So would you be landscape or portrait?
Oh, probably just a portrait.
Portrait.
Yeah.
Would you have any
Discs or anything around?
No, would you have like in Brixton? No, I'm not an owner, by the way. Just so let you know.
No, you're not?
No. Everybody else is, but not me.
Okay.
You know how they have the special rims or one's gold or I'm trying to think of what they are.
Sure.
We have the special foils or, Would you have something like that?
Yeah, a little door disc patch or something.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
like a
card.
little piece of the door disc patch?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'd be like a real thick card.
Yeah.
Like a thick boy.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
That was what they call
Like
it.
a Harvey eye.
Just the eye.
Just the eye.
Just the eye. Caw.
So looks back at you as you're looking at the card.
Wouldn't it be the one where you'd move it and it would follow you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the type we need.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I think I would have, mine would be in landscape.
Okay.
And it would be me laying across this table with just my headphones on.
Oh, that's funny.
I like it. With the Night Owls logo in the background.
Okay. Good
And then
deal.
it would be like a shimmer card
Ooh.
and a little bit of holographic, but only in the right places.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right
My
on.
eyes. My eyes.
Yeah. Oh, they glisten like the sun.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
All right.
Consequently, well,
Hold on. Wait. How do you segue consequently? Okay, I gotta listen to
Or
this.
maybe that's not what I meant to say.
No. Continue. So consequently,
Oh no, I don't think that's what I meant to say. But no, if you're I was just thinking about this because Dempsey's had sports cards made of him for soccer. You order your pictures or whatever for team or whatever, and then you have an option of getting your picture turned into a trading card if you want to give to people and stuff. So I think we did do that one year.
okay. And Yadis has his own sports card too.
That's right. I remember he gave one to Harrington.
Yeah.
There's a
one at
trade
the
for
shop
whatever.
too.
Yeah.
Well, there's one at the old shop still
Oh, is there?
that he signed,
Yeah.
and I'm keeping it. And it's going to show up in one of the Brixton packs of 2024. The newest Brixton packs. I'm going to try to hide it somewhere to where it comes with it.
Oh, but aren't they sealed?
Well, yeah, but I'll figure out
okay.
how we stash it
Nice.
somewhere. But it's definitely, there's going to be a one-of-one Matt Yadis signed card.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It is a good idea. Thank you. I just got to figure out how to do it. Now my mind is rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Because it's still hanging on the wall on the bulletin board or on the whiteboard. That's still hanging there.
Okay.
It's tucked in the corner of the whiteboard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got it still, Matt. Don't worry.
Nice.
So I think a bunch of friends of his made those. Just went online and had them made or somebody printed them out or something like that. But on the back, it has a whole bio and everything on it, too.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah, we should make a pack of playing cards of just Night Owl stuff.
Door disc team cards.
Yeah.
Random pack. You just sell them in the store.
Yeah. Or just I don't know, just random packs of us.
Yeah.
Just you and me. Of all the pictures of us doing things.
We could definitely do that.
Yeah. So, door_disc_golf, night_owl_pod, and then doordisc.com, where you can find all your disc golf needs, including Brixton cards and potentially the Matt Yadis collector edition. All right.
Nice.
So, what are we going to talk about today? Aside from the stuff I have written down, do we have anything else?
Well, there's a fun. Shoot, just a second. I just saw it on Reddit. There was a fun poll about best commentators for live and post-produced Jomas.
Ooh, all right. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this was I forgot who conducted this. Hold on, just a second. Shoot, I don't see who did this, but anyway, this is a poll given out, and there's like close to 5,000. Just over 6,000 people replied.
Oh, wow.
So this is just for DGN Live.
Okay.
And Jomez Pro. There's obviously other fun commentary
Let's see
post-produced.
how mad I'm going to get for the people they choose.
Yeah, all right. So numero uno, Nate Sexton for live and post. Right behind him, Brian Earhart for live. I'll do live first, and then I'll say post because there's only 5 post-produced. Okay, so live, Nate Sexton, Brian Earhart, Germ, Ken Climo, Zach Melton, Nate Perkins, Terry Miller, Isa Pekka Tupola.
Oh, he's from the European one. Yeah.
Juliana Korver, Charlie Eisenhood,
Boo.
Timu Nisanen, Philo, Val Jenkins, Ian Anderson, Nate Doss, Grant Zellner, and Zoe Andike is at the bottom. Now, nobody had... It's rated 1 through 10. Nobody had a score below 6.2.
Okay.
Nate Sexton was the highest at 8.9.
Really? Okay.
Yep, so he was the highest. And then he's also the highest at 8.9 for Jomez post-produced. And then it's Germ with a 8.4, Yuli 8.2, and then down below is Madison and Erica with a 7.5 and 7.3.
Okay.
So any surprises for you? I mean, I think there's no surprise there of order for Jomez, right? I think score-wise...
It was Yuli on the live, on the post-produced at all?
Yeah, Yuli is third for
Okay,
for
so
Jomez.
it's Nate, Germ,
Yuli, and then Madison and Erica. Some people were saying that overall, based on scores at 7.5 and 7.3, they thought that was lower and that they should maybe be up higher in terms of overall score above people, not just that they're lower for post-produced.
That's Two Hot Geese, right?
Two Hot Geese, yeah. They feel like that they should maybe be up a little higher above some of those people based on score, even though they don't do live. It's just score-based.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. It doesn't surprise me Nate Doss is down there. Juliana Korver surprises me how high she was, because she was, what, number 4, number 5?
She's kind of right in the middle to lower half.
Oh, okay.
She scored a 7.4, and she's just above Charlie Eisenhood, Timu, and Philo, Val Jenkins, Ian. So, yeah, she's kind of just down. She's kind of right at the middle there for live.
Okay. I don't disagree with it too much. Ian is the one that I'm kind of surprised he's so far down.
Yes, same, because I like Ian and Philo together. I think they're good. People were saying in the comments of this Reddit thread that perhaps Ian got dragged a little bit because of he's tag teamed with Zoe a lot for live.
Sure.
And if people aren't liking their chemistry together, that could have kind of affected his score a little bit.
Yeah. But he's a true color guy. I don't see him as a play-by-play.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I see him as more of a color guy to me, but
sure.
I don't know what does he act as mainly?
I think
he's more of a play-by-play when he does with Philo,
I think he's more of a play-by-play, right? Yes, with Philo, and I think perhaps with Zoe as well.
Okay.
I don't know, because me too, growing up watching old CCDG, I always thought he was great there. Like he and Philo together were doing awesome there.
Yeah,
so.
he was one of the OGs. I think that's a lot of things that people don't realize is that Ian was one of the originals that brought disc golf to YouTube.
Yeah.
And brought actual live stuff and brought post-produced. And I don't know if he brought any live, but I know he was one of the onlys that did post-produced.
Yeah, right.
I remember I was always super excited to see Central Coast. And then
Pros
Jomez
versus
came
Joes,
out. Yeah, and then...
or that's not what it was. It was...
No.
Champs versus Chumps.
Yeah, Champs Chumps.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Jomez came out, and everybody was like, all of a sudden, Central Coast was just nothing. I mean, they were still
Not
something,
but it was still just behind them. And then you had Gatekeeper coming in, and now it's Go Throw now.
Go Throw, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? GK Pro?
GK Pro, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know why he keeps getting pushed aside. I think... Oops, excuse me. I think there's a lot of... I think the problem is he's too close with a lot of the pros.
Sure.
And I think that's where his vernacular, like the things he says, I think he shields a lot of people too.
That could be.
So I think he tries to play the protecting instead of being like, man, that was a bad shot. What was he thinking?
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a, and he like makes these excuses. Or I've seen that disc in his bag and that bag. And that's one of the things that I kind of like, I kind of don't. But I think for the most part, I could care less what they're throwing. I just kind of want to see the shot, how it went. I mean, if you tell me it's an eagle or if it's a this or a that, awesome. But it doesn't mean I'm going to throw any of those discs even remotely close to that.
True.
So who cares? Yeah.
Well, it's like when I appreciated when Jomez had put the discs on. Like all of a sudden like they're teeing off and it's like, okay, he's throwing Cloud Breaker. Whatever disc it was. It's like cool to know that. Do I know how that disc flies for like him? Well, perhaps, but I'm going to see it, down the way. But it doesn't mean much.
Well, and you could, if you follow players close enough, you know their bags.
Yeah.
Like you can, what they're throwing.
Right.
So, but he was one of the very first that actually went and got lists of discs from the pros. Like, what did you throw? What do you have in your bag? Mm-hmm. And I think I've heard him say that that's kind of a pain in the butt. Like trying to get these discs from these pros, because these pros they're like, I don't want to give you a list of discs, And some are like pretty good about it, but others are just like, oh my goodness, like it's like a big chore for them,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like that. I mean, Ian, I don't think gets enough credit for what he's done for broadcasting in disc golf. So I feel that he is pretty underrated there.
Yeah. Zach Melton kind of surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, when does he ever do commentary?
I don't know.
I mean, I know he did some commentary back in the day, like Disc Golf Answer Man and some the DD tournaments, but...
I don't recall what... Oh, hold on a second. Let's see. Zach Melton. Okay, because there's a chart on like the third slide over that has all the majors and elite series, like how many they each have done. But I don't see Zach's name popping up. So maybe...
Ooh, was he the write-in?
I don't know. That's interesting.
He's a real likable guy. I mean, I could imagine he would be really good, but I can't even think of him on broadcast because...
Right. So... we were talking about Ian just a second ago. So it has Ian down for play-by-play. He's done 9 elite and 1 major as play-by-play.
Okay.
For MPO, and then 8 play-by-play elite, and that's it for MPO.
Okay.
And then Terry.
Maybe that's why he's getting a bad rep, because he's not a good play-by-play.
It could be. Very well could be. And surprisingly, Nate Doss was the biggest, or had the biggest improvement in score, 1.4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Juliana behind him and Nate Perkins behind him with a 1.1 increase.
Okay. And Nate Perkins is another one that I'm surprised. Now, he does a lot of the field commentary, if I remember rightly.
He does. He's out in the field a lot.
Yeah.
I think he may have gotten in the booth once or twice here. But, yeah, he's mostly like that go-to guy in the field. Yeah, Nate did two Elite Series, MPO.
Okay, so he's really slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
They've really taken him down a notch. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, he was, I mean, I'm no stranger to this, that he was nails on a chalkboard for me. Like I said, nothing against him, just his commentary. I would rather not. Wow, that was really squeaky.
Really squeaky.
The cost of water. So, well, I don't disagree with it too much. I mean, there's a couple I would probably put a little higher, a little lower, but the Zach Melton one kind of blows my mind because I can't even think of the last time I even heard him say something.
I don't know.
About any tournament.
If anybody can come up with an answer for us, just let us know. Like, give us a comment on the podcast itself on Spotify because they all allow comments. Or if you listen to this on YouTube, give us a YouTube comment. And let us know.
Yep, we'll reply back. All right. Well, I'll give a quick rundown of what we're doing here. So we're going to talk Ricky, Kona, Freeman, Hammes, a little bit of Gossage, and some Hansen. So there you go. All those.
Umbop?
Bow. Yeah. The Umbop. I forgot about them.
Yeah.
The Hansen brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bop, bop, bop. How much do we need to sing until we get demonetized?
It might be like, well, we're not monetized anyway, but
like we ever are.
like 15 seconds, I think.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I don't know.
So I still had some time.
Yeah, you still have a little bit.
All right. Should I continue? All right.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. You can write that in the post. All right. New Zealand Open happened. And can we start with, before we announce the winners, 47th annual, well, it said the 47th New Zealand Disc Championship. I forgot.
That boggles my mind.
47. So
you're talking like 78, right? Is that correct?
40. Roughly, yes.
1978 would have been the first New Zealand.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
What?
77, 78, yeah. I don't.
That is crazy.
I'm trying to figure that out because isn't California the home of disc golf? And didn't it start with Steady Ed Hedrick in No, it was in the 70s. It was one of the disc sports in the 70s, right? That it's surprising to me. So if it is the 47th, is that annual or is it biannual?
I think it's got to be annual.
I would assume so.
Because if it's biannual, you'd be cutting it in half.
Wouldn't biannual be twice a year?
Oh, biannual would be twice a year. But you're talking...
No,
you're talking about like every other year.
No, I'm talking like twice a year. If you did it by like,
that'd be crazy.
Is it like two tournaments a year, or is
geez.
it? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like how can you stack up 47? Because
I don't know.
Is there another tournament in the United States that's been going on that long?
Not that I can think of.
I mean, I can think of some like the Pickle Open is what 30 something.
Yeah, Silver Cup's 20, but I mean, or 20. It'll be 25 this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pickle Open.
There's a few older ones here, and I know there's ones in like California where they're in their 30s.
Yeah,
like well into the 30s.
Yeah,
but I can't think of any others.
Then they're throwing pie tins or something down in New Zealand. Like that's all I can think of. Like, we're just
because wasn't it in the 80s that the Frisbee was like 84 or 85 when the Frisbee actually came out?
Yeah.
Whammo.
Jeez Louise.
So that's impressive. So there you go, New Zealand. If anyone knows, write in the comments again.
We got to do some better research.
I know. Well,
it's just the two of us.
I know. Well, it's like I just went through and I'm like 47. Like as we're looking at the thing that just happened. But
I know.
So, well, let's give it to the Gooseman. Gooseman took it down 40 under.
That's crazy. And it was the last tour stop of the tour down under.
Yep.
So
Gossage and then Ella Hansen, if I recall.
Her one and only stop.
She won.
Yeah, like she went down there and was like touring around, like just kind of doing some fun stuff around there. And then this was her warm up before getting into the
warm up. I'm gonna go to New Zealand and do a tournament. And so was Finley still down there?
I'll check. I forgot who was playing in this tournament. No, no, because I pressed on something that said, okay. Yeah, so Ella Hansen beat Sophia Doneke she was +6, Juliana Korver, Emily Weatherman, Taylor. I don't know.
Doesn't look like it.
She's not there. She's Holland's not down there anymore.
Okay.
And then Gooseman, come on, go back. Oh, let's do this. Ended up beating Levi Stout, who looks like he's from New Zealand. 32 down. Robert Burge 30 down. Braden Sides 26 down. Luke Humphreys 24 down. Ezra Robinson 22. Chandler Fry 20. Germ 12 down. Eli Swanson 10 down, and then Ben Wheel Lake or Lackey 5 down. Nate Perkins 5 down. That's the top 10.
Nate Perkins must be loaded. He is everywhere.
Yeah, because I remember. So he got. I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. He got engaged in New Zealand or Australia, like at one point, and like he was kind of touring or doing stuff. Down there for a while, I
feel like he's everywhere, but you never see him win. Who's he sponsored by?
Clash.
Oh, Clash. Okay.
Last I heard, he was sponsored by Clash. Because he came out with the Lotus. Like there was a special edition Lotus that came out.
That's right. We had it.
And
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that was the last sponsor I heard for him.
Okay. Well, there you go. So congratulations to Ella Hansen and Aaron Gossage.
Pretty sure their GoThrow has. I don't know if they because they're a day ahead or however many hours ahead. I don't know if the final round actually came out this morning or for us or when it would have come out. I forgot to look.
I don't know. I've been browsing YouTube and I'm not sure. I've been flirting with the idea of YouTube TV. You know if it's worth it?
Okay, interesting.
I wonder if it would be worth it.
I don't know. I heard that someone was complaining because it just went up in price.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, I don't know what it's at, like $80 maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Or is it used to be premium or what plus or what did they label it? I don't know. I know we were thinking about it, but I don't know. It's just one of those that's my only source of entertainment anymore. Really, I don't watch TV or anything.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll jump on
But maybe if you're using YouTube enough for entertainment purposes, if you had that option to have maybe there's something on live TV if you're on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. But we have Hulu though, so if I want to do live TV, so that's why I was like, maybe I'm talking about the premium then or plus or whatever it is. Could be. Like the one where it's like limited ads or whatever it is. But and then they do I don't know. Anyways, so back to disc golf. So let's go up the list. So we're going to talk Hemis. So Hemis was also named as part owner of Brixton. So it is now Paul, Hemis, Cease, and the other guy. Yeah, we should have done more research. So there are now 3 disc golfers with ownership stake in it that are all Discraft.
Yeah.
1 Major League Baseball pitcher. Mm-hmm. And he's a starting pitcher. He's not a closer, right?
Yeah, he's a starting pitcher.
Yeah, he's a pretty good pitcher. And then that guy, the other guy, the guy that started it. So I am concerned. So we have a box sitting right here. You just kind of look through them a little bit. It's really neat. I like it. But man, with that much Discraft influence, it just scares me. Is it going to change? Is it going to be a little less open than it is now? Now, I mean, they have all brands, all sponsors, all.
No, I would think that it's going to continue the way that it is. You have to expand, right?
Right.
You can't just. Not everybody's a fan of Discraft,
right?
So you have to be open to everybody. You have to have because I think people do want that chance to get something limited from somebody they follow, right? Like if you can get your favorite player's signature or a part of their jersey or clothing, whatever it is, like that chance is worth it. And if you only have a limited amount of people, you're just going to limit your sales and shoot yourself in the foot right off the bat if you're only doing certain companies. Now, if they did specific boxes, like say you wanted just a Discraft box where you got only Discraft players, or you could get like a company of like just a certain box, or like you got packs inside of a box that were like, okay, this is your Discmania pack, this is your Discraft pack, this is your Axiom, like that.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to appeal to everybody. You can't just be.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up
the other guy.
No, Brixton. Jason is his name.
Okay.
The Brixton, they just dropped something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For the record, I'm a day walker, Ashton.
I saw that. Oh, that's my.
Is that your belly?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Boy.
Anyway, so I was just trying to find, I thought I had a new email from Brixton talking about the new cards that are coming back.
Oh, okay.
But that is not the case. So, Jason McWorth, it looks like.
Okay.
Werther. So, I thought I had that, but I guess I don't. So, but I'm excited for the new packs, and I do agree with you. I think limiting it to one sponsorship is not a good idea. So I'm going to pivot because I had a really good conversation with our rep from Prodigy.
Ooh.
So I'll leave him nameless right now.
Prodigy news. Prodigy
It's not about Prodigy because
darn.
I didn't have much to say.
Okay.
That was nice. And my mom always said if I don't have anything nice to say, I shouldn't say it at all.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever listened to that, but with that being said, so I had a good conversation with Prodigy, and I'll say his name, Colin. So Colin's from Canada, and every time I talk to Colin, I love chatting with Colin because I think he's real. Like, he has good conversation. He understands what we're trying to push or not.
Okay.
And when
you're like, hey, we don't really have any Prodigy in our store.
It's exactly it. So I said, we have about 150 or 160 Prodigy discs in our store. And I've had them basically since the time we opened about 3.5 years ago or 4 years ago.
Dang. Okay.
So they're going to do us a solid, and they're going to switch us out with some of the new stuff.
Okay.
Some of the new plastics and things like that. So it's kind of we're going to do almost a 1-to-1 switch, which is great. And then we're just going to even it out. Like, we'll bring in 200 more Prodigy discs. This is our last and final chance. And I kind of told him that, like, we'll give it one more push. And if we don't have any more Prodigy sales, like, we're getting rid of Prodigy out of the shop. So, but other than that, Colin and I had a really awesome conversation about Discraft.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't selling me on Discraft. I was asking him what he thought the temperature of the market looked like for Discraft.
Got it.
And what does he think?
Okay.
And he brought up some really amazing points. So we were having a really good discussion. And one of the things that he brought up is that it is the time to buy and pile up all this inventory as far as people go in disc golf, because no one else is picking big names up for big dollars anymore.
Yeah.
So you can get some really, really notable names for pretty much a bargain price. And what they're doing is they're putting all these people here because Discraft is one of the few people. Now, I'm implying this. Colin didn't say this.
Yeah.
Discraft is probably one of the few people, aside from MVP now, that realizes that it's not the plastic people are buying. It's the faces.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're buying the personalities. So that's why they're grabbing.
Right. It's like trading cards.
They are like trading cards. The one thing that he did agree with me on, which I really liked it, not that one thing, but the one thing he agreed with me on is that he thinks that they got Ricky for pretty cheap because he doesn't think Ricky is a difference maker. He's not a needle mover in the same way.
I could see that.
And this is industry side. This isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't know how much plastic Ricky really moves. It's tough for me to think that he moves much now with his new discs. that could change.
Yeah, potentially. So he essentially has a big beat AVR, is what he's putting out there, or a whale or a dagger or
he said he wanted to have like deep dish feel putter,
deep dish feel with a big bead
Yep.
that he can rest his finger on. So I mean, it's basically every putter he's putted with.
Yeah,
and nobody likes him. Like physically, nobody likes him.
hard for somebody that putted with daggers for a while was BJ.
Yes,
Bjorn.
Yep.
And I felt it. I was like, this is a dog dish.
It is. It's not a comfortable feel.
It's not at all. And I putt with P2s. A lot of people find P2s really hard to putt with because they're fairly deep. I think they're pretty comfortable. But the dagger is just something different.
No, it's a whole different thing. And then the whale, it's almost a meme disc. Like it's one of those Walmart discs. Like you always see whales on the shelf of Walmart because nobody else buys them, you know?
Right.
And then he was most recently putting with the, he was back with the dagger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he do something like Reborn or was it a special dagger? Am I wrong?
No, I mean, he had the slammer that they remade
That's
for
right,
him.
they did the
because they brought it back, and I think he did a couple tweaks to it or whatever. So they brought that back. And then he had obviously his felons and the general, which was the biggest money grab, or not even a money grab. It was just poorly marketed and
really poorly marketed. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like it was an OOP that was put back into circulation.
Possibly. It's like they were trying to make a PD2 because I think it was close to those numbers. You know, something just really overstable that only Ricky would throw.
Right.
And then charge $40 for it. And you're like, no weak-armed person or average-armed person is ever going to touch this thing.
No. And Ricky throws, he's an anomaly in the tour right now because he's an anti-thrower. He throws hyzer flips. He throws flex lines.
Yeah, right.
So he's not quite Nico, but he's pretty darn close to it. But he's unique. Like, he can throw the super overstable stuff the way he throws it.
Yeah.
There's very few pros that even throw the stuff that he throws. So to try to match his arm, like the felons and stuff like that, some of those felons were super beefy. I mean, super beefy. And, you know, when you watched his tour, when his tour went through, I mean, he was grabbing, like, the beefiest stuff. And he's talking about, like, his roller discs were stuff that, like, I hope I can flip them up a little bit, you know?
Sure.
It's just like, all right, well. So, I mean, but he's an anomaly. But, you know, once again, going through the shop with him and Yuli, I was just like, I'm going to watch this because I kind of feel obligated to watch it.
Well, it was like 20 minutes almost. And I did watch it.
So boring.
Oh, it was.
It was so boring.
Oh, by the way, Ricky did his craft.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
So
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So I did the exact same thing. I was like, the announcement came out, first the announcement of him leaving DD, like that we knew was probably going to happen because of the AMA.
Yeah.
Right? That he brought up, so here's an interesting question. If, let's say in a vacuum, the AMA didn't happen at all, we didn't know that these internal talks with DD were happening and House of Discs and all that. If we had just heard that, oh my God, Kona's let go of her contract. Oh my God, Ricky was let go of her contract. Is that the flipping? Is that the flipping that Drew Gibson was talking about? Like, oh my God, you won't believe what's happening.
It might be, because I think it's signs of bigger things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just that they're letting them go.
Because even Drew put out a video about Ricky when he was released and signed with Discraft, but he never addressed it in that video. So I'm part of me thinks that maybe everything that happens with like Climo leaving Innova, him getting his own line of discs, this happening with them leaving, getting picked up by their sponsors, just like the whole off season kind of is made to feel like it's flipping, but I still have that gut feeling that there's something totally different
there really could be.
And it just feels like he put this out there towards the beginning of the season, and we're almost through this off season. The tour is starting March 1st. Mm-hmm. Is it going to happen by then? Right. Is it like, it's just looming?
Or is now that Ricky's on Discraft, Paul's leaving? Oh. Maybe that's why they're canning everybody so they can afford Paul. So Paul the DD. Heard it here, folks. Here first.
That would be wild. Paul could probably not buy DD.
Oh, he probably could. Think about it. Think about it. I like it.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Dynamic Macbeth.
Yeah. So, so Colin, good conversations. I mean, I think his insight into the industry, because he's a pretty big deal up there with disc golf. And then, just having a good candid conversation about what personalities look like. And I did question him. He didn't say anything, which I wish he would have, because I thought it would have been really awesome to use on the podcast. But he didn't say anything about Will, because I specifically asked him. I go, so when is Will going to ever accept the fact that people are what make him money, not the discs? And he goes, well, there's a lot of changes that are happening. And I was like, very well done. Very well done. Like, you skirted that question perfectly. So.
Right.
But it was pretty good. I probably talked to him for 20 minutes. I was in the car driving, so I'm like,
oh, okay.
Hey, I got nothing else to do. I'll occupy your time there, Colin. So.
So he didn't comment anything about their team at all or anything like that.
He didn't say anything about it. I was really fishing, but I couldn't get anything out of him. And even if he would have, been like, I can't tell you, or I'll tell you, but you can't say anything, I still would have said something.
No, I just mean, he's like, well, the only thing I can tell you is that I can sell you their signature discs.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
No, he said nothing about that. He talked about the two that are out in the open, but... Oh, that's about it. And then we talked about, the worth of Kale going to Discraft. And he thought that it was a good buy for Discraft because the baskets bring notoriety. Kale puts in courses, and that means there'll be more baskets around. So the notoriety grows for Discraft.
Sure.
Which I think is brilliant. I think it was a good move. So that's that. So I guess we kind of walked onto one of them. So, Discraft, Ricky, does it surprise you? Do you think it was a good choice? And would you have seen him in a better fit somewhere else?
Okay. The two big, other people have talked about this as well, the two big contenders, I feel like once the news had come out, was Ricky's going to go to either MVP because they could afford him, or Discraft, because obviously it seems like they're affording everybody right now.
Yeah.
It came down to those two. I honestly don't feel like Ricky would have been a great fit at MVP. Mm-mm. He's got a personality. They're just picking up personalities, but to me, I don't know if
personality.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I don't feel like him throwing the discs for them. That just seems like a weird fit. Like I said that about Germ moving there too, but I think they're going to work out for him. Not saying that, Ricky could throw, like, these guys can throw anything.
Right, absolutely.
That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But the fit, I just didn't see it at MVP. So, it kind of makes sense for Discraft because it's one of the only companies he hasn't been with.
Right. Yeah.
Paul's there. They're related. Paul's married to Rick's sister. So I'm sure there was a little bit of recruiting.
Oh, I'm sure. There. And he's team captain and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he's been really silent about this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. Ricky had that post a while ago where he had that disc sitting behind him on the table, and it was a Discraft disc, and everybody's like, oh, AB, he's like AB or his brother or something, left it there, and it just happened to be there. But it's just funny that he ended up at Discraft. And so timing wise, with him being released from DD, he went on and did he's been doing Instagram lives, like almost nightly during the off season. And so people were asking him, oh, when's your next sponsor? Oh, I'm announcing soon, whatever. And it happened, when we were ended up being gone. And I tried to ask a question, but it scrolls by so fast because there's so many people in the lives. And I was just curious, timing wise, we heard about the buyout, but when did it actually take place? Because like to get stuff lined, I'm sure Discraft like reached out right away, or he reached out to Discraft right away. Because even Parker Welk, when he got signed to DD, he said this on Staggered Stance. He got his contract within like 2 days. Like he reached out to DD, and the guy was on a plane somewhere. Turned around, sent him the contract, and got it and he's like, "Yeah, I'm signed within 2 days." So I mean, something could happen.
Sure.
That fast is unbelievable. But I feel like this probably happened a while ago.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
And,
yeah.
just they decided to announce it
right
at this time. Same with Kona.
Yeah.
So. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like Rick's good with Discraft, or how do you feel about that?
I just don't know. Like, nothing excites me about either of those two, like Kona or Rick. Surprise, Kona left his DD. But neither of them, like, they don't do much for me.
Yeah.
I think Discraft's bucket hat sales will go up a little bit, but neither of them do anything for me. And for them to have already a putter that he said he's seen about 4 or 5 versions already of it.
Yeah, right.
That means they've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, it does.
As far as, I don't know, man. Like,
I can't imagine many people buying that putter though.
No,
I really can't.
I can't either. And I know they're gonna try to push like the GTs, like the Buzz GT. I think he made quick mention of that in the video.
He did. Because I watched the
Or
warehouse
was it the Zone
video.
GT.
Yeah, Zone GT. I watched the warehouse video, and then I watched his practice round at Vista.
Okay.
He did like a front back nine of like the first time he was playing with the discs, and the groove top, the GT Zone was one of the discs that I think he really liked, and I think it's because he threw the slammer and like those kinds of discs. So he's probably looking for something pretty close to that.
Well, and I think it seems like a pretty good disc, and that could be a signature disc pretty easily. I mean, nobody else is touching that.
Right.
Because I think they had one signature on it for a while. And I did notice that as he was walking through, man, they had some old discs in that factory. Did you notice some of the Ledgestone stuff he was pulling out? Like, from like 21?
Yes.
I was like,
I know they're asking, he's asking about he's asking Paul about runs, and Paul's like, oh yeah, those are over here. You want like this run. And I was like, there's some
when he's
old
talking
stuff.
to Captain Rappers, the first run.
Yes.
We have like 80 of those sitting in the shop. I'm sorry, it may not be that many anymore. But we had a run on them where one night we sold like 9 of them overnight, and it came in on orders, and I was like, what in the world? How did this happen all of a sudden? And what I'm assuming is people are starting to realize that those are some of the good runs, and Paul keeps talking about them, and now Ricky's going to start throwing them. So,
right.
But yeah, I don't know. So Ricky, if they bought out his last year of the contract, so it was $1 million for 4, right? So they got Ricky for probably less than $1 million. I would assume.
Because I mean, no one's saying anything about contracts anymore,
right,
so we have no idea. But it's definitely, I would guess it's definitely less than that. Yeah,
I would hope so. If they brought him in for less than $1 million, they're just buying out his last year of the contract. Because that's all. It's never said length of contract yet. I haven't heard anything about it.
No.
But
no
I'm
details.
Assuming it's long haul because they're actually making molds for Ricky. So it's a little bit different. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. I've been sick for like a week and a half. That's for the listeners. So I just don't know. I still don't see that being a wise choice for Discraft, other than that he's at a bargain right now. He's kind of like, he's in TJ Maxx right now. Like, he's still a brand name, but he's in TJ Maxx. There's something wrong. Like a button's missing or a hem's off. So,
and I heard this somewhere else too. With this many horses in the stable, you're just kind of cannibalizing disc sales.
Yes.
Everybody's going to have this. It all depends what mold you want your name on, right?
Right.
Obviously, people want the Buzz, they want the Force or Nuke or something like that, and then it trickles down. Like Missy's got the Thrasher, Paige's got the Passion, or the I forgot whatever her other discs are. But, you know, you want your name on those sellers. And it's like, you know, or you buy whoever you're a fan of, but you're still kind of cannibalizing from somebody else a little bit.
I would agree too, but I think it also runs true the other way, where they're dominating the disc sales too.
That could be, yeah.
So I think they're actually capturing a lot of people's sales that they probably wouldn't have had otherwise.
True.
You know, like we have a gentleman on the team that's a hardcore Ricky fan, and it's okay to be wrong. He can still be on the team, but
He must be really stoked for those Raptors.
Well, he will buy them now.
Yeah.
He will buy Discraft. I'm sure of it now.
Yeah.
And I think he actually said something like that in the team chat. So you will find probably quite a few. And, you know, we have 10-ish people on our team, you know, like roughly in that chat. And there were 2 that are going to buy Discraft because, so you think if that's a 20% conversion of disc golfers,
Sure.
like, that's pretty darn good.
That is.
And if you can't look anywhere else to see the champions of the past, what other name of disc golf are you going to know? Especially for new people coming in. Like what they're doing is they're creating a legacy that's going to last for a long time with their stable of champions. Like,
Yeah.
It's incredible, the people they got on their team. So, because outside of that, who has championships that isn't on Discraft? McCabe has 2010. You have
Barsby,
which was the random like 16.
18.
Is it 18? Okay.
I think so. James.
Conrad, the holy shot.
Isaac with 2.
Oh, yeah, okay. Isaac,
So,
I mean, that's not like 5 out of the last 20, you know, because then you got Climo, which dominated the 90s. There was Schultz is the only one that is not there. And then you have, why can I never remember his name? Cenas.
Bobby Music.
No, National Disc Golf Tour, National Amateur Disc Golf Tour. Why can I never remember his name?
Feldberg,
Dave.
Yeah.
So you got Dave Feldberg there. So, like, they basically have all the championships.
Right.
And on the female side, Tatar. And then they got
Paige.
Pierce.
Yeah.
They got Valerie. They got Who's Corver with?
Corver?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is she with anybody right now?
no, she's on. She's team champion on Innova.
Okay,
I'm
so
pretty sure.
she's Innova still.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just trying to think of some of the most recent, but like they got basically this like the 2000s. They got all the champions in the 2000s,
Right, and if you're
essentially.
somebody that's pretty new to disc golf, that makes all the difference.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So they have that stable that you're looking for a disc of a person you support. You're probably jumping on the Discraft site.
Sure,
So
I mean that makes sense.
yeah. So now if they can push or take over DD's share of the big box stores, then I think they're going to take the market share from Innova, the majority share of Innova.
Oh boy, that's true. You know what? I was in our local Walmart recently, and they used to carry Innova. And I was going up and down the sporting good rows the other day. I was like, I don't see them anymore. I don't know why they were taken out. Or
So they still have disc golf, but there's only like 2 or 3 things of them.
okay, because I know DD was trying to move into Walmart.
And DD is the only ones they have.
Yeah. Okay.
now. So
yeah, interesting.
it is weird. And I know they're pretty seasonal, but Walmart almost always has them.
Yeah.
And since they redid the Walmart by us,
Yeah.
they really drastically reduced it. Because they used to have probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 wide, and they had 3 deep.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a little less now. But the thing with Discraft, cheaper. I'm like all over the place tonight. The thing with Discraft that is something that Innova doesn't have is Discraft has the ultimate money.
Yeah.
Because they're not spending any money on Ultimate. They're only making money from Ultimate because they don't sponsor people for Ultimate. I mean, maybe they do, but how many people?
Well, it's going to be interesting now because Prodigy's in Ultimate.
Oh, really?
Prodigy has the official disc of Ultimate now.
Really?
Yes. I saw that a little while ago, that Prodigy's making Ultimate disc.
I've never even seen a lid from Prodigy.
I haven't yet either, but I saw the announcement on Instagram and Facebook like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
So
interesting.
does Ultimate require gloves to be worn? Just curious.
Maybe some people wear friction gloves. You know?
Yeah. So, well, that's good. And you know, I don't know. Like, I got nothing but good things to say about Discraft. And I'm not like a Discraft fanboy. I think I have maybe 2 things or 2 discs. You know, I have the Comet and then... No, I only have 1 disc. Oh, the Undertaker.
Okay.
But that's it.
I mean, yeah, in my bag, I just have the Zone and a Buzz.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people, I'm this way. I have an ESP. I throw an ESP Buzz. I throw a Crystal Flex Zone. And a lot of people are like, their plastic is too. The Zone is pretty gummy. Like the Crystal Flex is still like soft and like nice and gummy, and it gets even more that way when it's broken in. A lot of people are like, oh, ESP plastic, it's pretty slick.
Okay.
Jawbreaker plastic can be a little slick. You know, that's part of the reason some people aren't liking Discraft is they feel like it's a little slicker than other plastic.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had that experience with Discraft. Now, there was that run like in 2020, 2021 of ESP that was garbage. It was like they rubbed baby oil all over it. It was bad stuff. Like, I didn't really enjoy it too much. It was super stiff. But now I don't really see it, especially with the Z Jawbreaker Flex or whatever. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not Flex, but Z Jawbreaker or whatever it is, that new stuff that came out. That stuff is fantastic.
Okay.
Has a good flex to it. Yeah. It's really good. So, all right. So then Kona went back with her daddy at Innova.
Yes.
I wonder if they had to buy out the contract as well. And it would surprise me if they did.
I don't know. That's in I mean, because both of these things are both statements about Kona and Ricky we mutually parted ways, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know.
We can't pay you anymore, so you might want to find somebody else. And they're like, okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would like to tour again. Yeah. So that's probably a wise idea on our part.
Yeah, probably a really good idea. Man, I got this tickle in my throat. All right. So maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was. So, wise move for Innova? No. I mean, it all depends on what they got her for. If she's just another sponsored player and gets some swag, then awesome. But I highly doubt that.
I don't know. I mean, she got signed. She was on Team Champion. She's back to Team Champion. I don't think she ever moved up to Star Team after she got her her victory. Yeah. She's got a new, was it Star Swirl Mako 3? Mm-hmm. I think Mako 3 is pretty popular. Mako 3, pretty
sure,
decent.
Popular enough. Yeah.
Popular enough.
Yeah.
So the question I got somebody got down my neck on this. Like, I asked a question in a group. I was like, well, you know, she got released. Who do you think reached out to who? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a question in my mind. Like, do you think she went, like, obviously because her dad's still at Innova. She's right. Like, Dad, do you, like, this is it. I'm not.
I come back, yeah.
Do you think I can come back, right? Mm-hmm. You don't hear of Innova taking people back very often, if at all.
Yep, very rarely.
Yeah. Or do you think they're like, Kona, we miss you, come back? That's hard for me to say that they would reach out. And someone said to me, oh, well, she's 42nd ranked in the world. You don't think, and she has a high, I'm like, okay, yes, I admit she is talented. She does have a big social media presence.
Yeah, it really helped when she was at DD, right?
Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like,
okay, let's be real. Let's be honest about Kona. She's had a really rough 3 years.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And on a personal side, that sucks. You know, and I hope everything goes well. I hope that everything is going well. I hope, you know, health and wellness abundant. She is not worth what she's being paid, and she does not deserve the attention she's getting purely based on disc golf acumen.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Like, I hate, no, I don't hate to say it because it's real. Like, she is not worth the money. There are so many other women that play the sport that were well more worth the money than she was. And why did they get passed up? Social media following, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so to continue to defend her as being this amazing disc golfer, she's not. She's a good disc golfer, but she's not top tier.
Right.
She's maybe C level. You know what I mean? I don't think she's even that second tier. She's probably third tier disc golfer. So I don't know. Like,
Well, that's what's hard for me because you're saying somebody's 42nd in the world, which, I mean, way better than me.
way better than me. Absolutely.
Here's the thing: 42nd in the world. If you're like strictly talking performance, you're not cashing.
You're not.
Right.
On the female side, you're not.
You're not, and you're lucky to get in a FPO tournament because most times there's only 40 women or less in those tournaments. So you have to have some kind of exemption or get in on a qualifier. That's not guaranteed.
Right.
Right. And then the other thing is you got to play your butt off to get on coverage.
Yes.
And that's going to be tough to do because not everybody here's the thing about social media. I know she's got like 100,000 followers or whatever, one of the largest social medias. Not everybody has to follow you. So like you have a reach as far as your followers are willing to give you.
Yep.
Or, you know, and a lot of times, like, yes, you're going to throw whatever plastic, you know, reach out that way. I don't think people honestly care as much if people are throwing whatever on social media or promoting whatever discs. They're just going to buy what they like for the most part. I can't think of a time. Here's what disc sales come down for me. If there's a new mold or a disc is coming in a new plastic from a company I throw, I'm going to check that out.
Right.
If it has somebody's name on it, cool. I'm not buying it simply because it has somebody's name on it.
Nope.
Like Simon has new discs coming out, the Balance, that just came out in one of the, I think, Gyropalooza box or whatever, and now they're coming out with prototypes 2 and 3. Those are new discs from MVP. I like MVP. I pre-ordered 2. I'm going to probably, I wanted to get them because I checked them out. They're Simon's discs, great, but they're molds I want to try. So I'm going to buy them.
Yep.
So that's just the way that...
Well, yeah, and I think honestly that's the way most people operate. Now you have these people that aren't being sponsored on these larger scales. Like for instance, Casey White. I buy Casey White discs. And the reason why is because I like Casey White and I want to support him. He started to get a bit bigger. So my allure to buy Casey White discs and support him directly has gone down a little bit now that he has his tour series.
Sure.
Before he had his tour series, I'd reach directly out to him and say, hey, can I buy something from you? Paige Bierkus.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing before she started to get her signature discs. And there was a few disc golfers that I did because I wanted to support them directly. But once they start kind of rolling in it, not rolling in it, but once they start getting kind of disc golf rich, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, we'll find someone else to push this money towards.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with like Patreon. Like, I will help people with Patreon. But once I feel that they're getting to the point where it's just kind of like, either they don't care about Patreon or they're to the point where they have the money, then I'll try to find a new person to push that money to.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? And so now that's my philosophy. I would assume that there's others like me. But like with Kona, you know, I was just looking at her Instagram. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like, and I think, you know, at 101,000 followers, let's be honest, there are a lot of people that follow her because they like her for disc golf. And there are probably a lot of people that follow her because they like her because she's good looking. You know, and I like that's the way social media works. Like personality sell. We talked about it on the last episode. Pretty people win.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good. Good for her. And I don't take any of that away from her. But when people defend her about her play, like she's never proven it. She's won one thing. like one thing that's of note.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, she did win there. Okay, she won the tournament this past.
Oh, she did. She did. Yeah.
She did. You know, like her first tournament back with, La Mirada, she won. With her discs. Which is a good stepping stone.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not saying that she can't be that person, but she hasn't proven to be that person yet. So
but she could. Maybe
she could. Absolutely.
I think perhaps the pressure of being the face of a company was just too much.
It could be.
Or of the cancer.
Oh, it could be.
Or, a myriad, a lot of things.
Getting married and life changes. And I mean, there's so many things that play into it for sure. But take it for face value. She wasn't worth what she got based just on disc golf.
Yeah.
She could be at one point, but I don't think she is or was.
Yeah. Maybe I do think, I don't know if she'd be eligible, but I think if she can play really well, she has a good chance at comeback player of the year.
Yes, that she does.
Right? Like,
that she does.
I don't know if, because, I mean, Evelina got it, right? Like, Evelina won comeback player of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I agree. I think that is something that she could and she would deserve if she did. I mean, like I throw shade at her a lot, and it's not at her. It's at the companies. I've said this before.
Yeah,
it's at the companies that supported her on that level because it put a lot of pressure on her, but it also kind of spat in the face of all these other women that are like killing it out there. And then she's just like, "Oh, you're pretty and you have an Instagram." Like, come on, like.
Okay.
Am I wrong for saying that? I guess maybe, probably.
So here's another thing that
eyes.
I'm not having a hard time. It's not a hard time dealing with it, but right now Hailey King is out there unsponsored. Obviously, she just moved from Innova. She is disc golf wise has been a better performer than Kona.
Yep.
Right. I don't think she has obviously, I don't know. Numbers wise, social media, she does not have the following that Kona.
Definitely not.
She's definitely more outspoken on issues and things in that than Kona. Don't know where she's taken time off from touring, right? Like she takes large chunks off and then she comes back to play a major or a run of tournaments here and there. I don't know if that's why she hasn't been picked up yet, is because she's not fully committing to playing enough that people are like, well, you're not going to play as much as we would like you to or not, and that's why she's not getting picked up. Because even she put out a post a while ago kind of saying still waiting, to see what's actually going to come. It's not that she hasn't been out playing, practicing, doing all these things to get ready. She just hasn't heard from anybody. And I'm like, well, what's the real reason behind that? And performance-wise, if that's what you're basing yourself on, I'm like, well, if you could have picked up Kona or Hailey, what would your decision be? But I think that's totally a different, two different.
Well, they're two different people for sure. And especially the way they deal publicly, two completely different people.
It is.
Kona is very likable, and Hailey King is very polarizing.
True.
Not less likable, just more polarizing. Right. So here's a hot take. I think Hailey King needs to lean into that, and I think more disc golfers need to lean into that. I think disc golf is way too buddy-buddy. And you think about all the most popular brands, personal brands out there. So any of these social media influencers, there's essentially two types. There's the ones that sell their bodies, and there's the ones that sell their personalities, right? And the ones that sell their personalities, they're never just even keel, middle of the road. They're always an extreme on one side or the other.
Yeah.
How do you think Brody Smith made his money? And why do you think he's so big in disc golf right now? It's because he's extreme.
Yeah.
He's on one side of the thing. Why are we not emulating that in disc golf? Why are we not taking these very strong personalities and just holding them at a spotlight? Because they will bring attention to disc golf. Good, bad, and I think they'll bring both at the same time.
Yeah.
But think about it, you give like Drew Gibson unfiltered a microphone. You give, I'm trying to think some other, like Joel Freeman unfiltered a microphone.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Why are we not pushing these big personalities, big polarizing personalities out there? And I think Hailey King can be that person. And I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree with her, because that's not the point. Mm-hmm. The point is that we need those contrarians in disc golf to drive the sport. Think about what Brodie Smith did for the sport, right? Brodie Smith killed it and got a lot of notoriety for the sport because he was so polarizing. He brought up the stuff that no one else was ever bringing up.
Yeah.
He was saying the mean things. I'll give the air quotes, mean things, you know. And I just don't think that there's anyone out there that'll do it. I mean, you hear Paul McBeth chirp off every once in a while, and I'm kind of like, man, more of that, more of that. Like, it excites me to know what these people actually think instead of playing the, well, you know, she's really good and, like, it's just a misunderstanding or she's having a hard time. Like, no, like, she sucks or she's awesome. Like,
yeah,
let's say it, you know?
Even Drew, well, now that he's been putting out just media content, he's been doing well with, like, his videos. And I think people actually do really appreciate the things he's putting out in those videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now more than perhaps in the past, even though, you know, on tour, like, oh, he's not likable. But, like, people are finding value what he has to say now throughout this whole off season and content.
Yeah, well, and it's because he's taking a side.
Yeah.
He's not playing, you know, I love Bobby to death. Everybody knows I love Bobby to death. The problem with Bobby is he was too vanilla. I think he could even had even a stronger impact if he was like, no, you suck.
More vanilla. No.
Right, yeah, like, we got to be more vanilla. You know, and honestly, that was
French
one of the
vanilla.
things he kind of told us. He goes, hey, when we're doing this, like, you don't want to be too controversial. Like, you want to kind of stay even keel, like, have your opinions, but, you know, we're not attacking people. We're not using cuss words. We're not doing anything like that, which I'm fine with. But I wish he would have encouraged us to be more, you know, in the very beginning, to be more like, take a stand, quit riding the fence, like, say one thing or the other. And even if we disagree with each other, like, put that out there, because there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we don't hate each other. I mean, you and I disagree on stuff.
Sure.
We don't hate each other for it. Like, it is what it is. But I wish they would have more personalities in disc golf to do that. I feel like I'm on a soapbox right now. But I think, you know, you brought up Hailey King, and that's the person that I look at and I'm like, give her a microphone. Let her have fun and talk, you know. And then get Katrina Allen on a microphone. Like, we have two polar opposite views.
Well, she was. But, you know, like, she was in that, it was at the Preserve, right? Where her and all those other women and, you know, some males on tour were protesting, what's her name?
Natalie Ryan.
Natalie Ryan.
And the other, who's the other one? Well, I forgot what her name was.
Chloe?
Is that right?
Is it Chloe Alice?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, and how much did that give the community? Because it was both. And it gave a reason to support a person on both sides.
Yeah.
And it gave a reason to root against somebody on both sides. It's not bad. Like, it is what it is. We all come from different walks of life. We all have different life experiences. We've all had different things that shape our character. Doesn't make us wrong or evil. It just makes us different. Like, but that's the message that I would like to push out. Like, it just makes us different. We're not evil. There's nothing wrong with someone disagreeing with you. But I loved that. Like, it was fun for us because we got to talk about it. Like, it was something exciting to talk about. Instead of this, like, well, everybody's so cool in disc golf and it's such a family. No, it's not. Don't lie to me. I've been around disc golfers. I would like, why are Ricky and Paul not chirping back and forth at each other? They need to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's going to be weird.
I know. They can't be buddies now. Like, that's not cool. Because where's our disc golf rivalry now?
Right.
Because it's always been Paul and Rick. Although Paul's kind of like...
Or now is it Gannon versus Discraft?
Just Discraft in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, they don't... I see no reason for there to be that rivalry. It's more of like the competition of like everybody's chasing.
Yes. Yeah.
Gannon.
Because Gannon's on another level right now. Gannon's the Paul McBeth of 2019. where he just didn't lose anything. He just won everything. Yeah, Gannon, he's even better than that, I think. Yeah, Gannon. So anyways,
yeah.
Freeman? Joe Freeman to Infinite. No big news there. I mean, it's news that he finally got somebody and Infinite picked him up, so he's going to be running an Infinite / open bag.
Yeah.
Or does Infinite players now only throw Infinite?
No.
No, it's just basically
open. I mean, Infinite does have a rather large, assortment of their own discs that anybody could actually throw all Infinite if they really want to. And it's just kind of a sideways move for Joel, because if he does pick up a lot of Infinite, it's all Innova made.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of them, he was
well.
actually throwing quite a few of them anyways, if I remember rightly.
I think so.
So, but he was sponsored by Infinite before he was sponsored by, wasn't he one of the very first Infinite sponsored players?
Yeah.
And then he went to Innova and then back to...
I don't remember what the situation was. It was something like that.
Okay.
Because at some point I remember hearing him signing with Infinite, but he was still, or he had something with Infinite, but was still on team. It was kind of like the whole Kona situation, right? And even Garrett Gerthy, where they're on team. Excuse me. They're on Innova, but they had discs like signature discs with Infinite or like
Millennium
or
like
Heiser Bomb.
Okay.
I think something like that.
Okay,
That
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
because I remember his name being associated with Infinite for some reason.
Right.
So
same.
Yeah, maybe he had like an Invictus or something like that.
That could have been.
I can't remember. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so that's it. I mean, is there anything else?
Oh, one thing that I remember seeing. Brody, because we were talking about him before, he had a tweet or was on X, and he just said, "Big changes coming."
With Brody, or was this disc golf, or did he give any inkling
Hold on a
on
second.
what?
That was pretty much his only thing. Was it said? Dang, where was that? Hold on a second.
Because he dropped down a level on the team.
He did. He dropped. Yep.
And then, see, now I'm speculating.
Where did I see that? I could have sworn that I saw it on Reddit or some other.
Was it X?
No. It was something from X.
Okay.
Shoot, did I see it on? Let me just look up Brody on.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, big changes coming. I saw it on his Facebook.
February 8th, yesterday.
Yeah.
Huh. Big change. I'm telling you, Paul McBeth to DD. And he knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Paul's pissed that Ricky's on Discraft. And he's going to take his ball and go home.
It's just like, what? Leaving Foundation? Like, no more tour life? Like,
yeah, what did that, like, what's his big change? Big change. Big change. All right,
is he moving again? Moving out of Dallas? Like,
for the 17th time
Yeah.
since he's been in disc golf? Big changes. Maybe Zach is coming back to Foundation.
oh,
That's not going to happen.
no, that's not probably going to happen.
No more Biscardi. Have you actually looked at their channel recently? Biscardi, Zach Biscardi's channel?
No.
It's non-existent. Like, he did those posts, a couple with his wife after he moved to Texas.
Okay.
And then that was it. Maybe Brody Smith is starting another company. Trading card company.
Rifle Brixton?
Yeah. Well, you think he does all the openings and pulls and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he has some sort of in with some,
sports card company. That'd be interesting.
that would be neat.
Alyssa's dad used to work for a printing company back in before he passed.
Uh-huh.
And he printed out like a lot of big companies' sports cards and things.
Oh,
like
really?
Panini.
Okay.
And then what was the other? There's some other like cool things like a lot of like bigger companies like paper goods. He would like work for a printing company. We have some old Chicago Bulls playoff tickets that he printed out.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to have.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uncut?
Uncut, like they're in a book.
That's awesome.
That somebody would get like if they were a season ticket holder, that kind of thing. So that was pretty cool.
And he just printed another set for him, one of those deals?
I don't know what the deal was. If
Okay.
no, what happened was I think they printed them, and maybe the Bulls didn't make it to the playoffs. So like it was like a sample or something that he had, and it had all these people's like faces on it, teams at the time, and like section, So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
But yeah, that'd be something. A rival sports card company in disc golf.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. So what's the next big thing in disc golf that is going to drive the sport?
Ooh.
But it can't be directly disc golf related.
Can't be directly disc golf related.
Well, like, or disc golf equipment. It's not like, a new cart or something like that.
Oh, okay.
By the way, did you see that Macbeth has a Zuka cart now?
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
saw
see that.
It was either through Discraft or through Ledgestone. There's a Macbeth cart where the insert is like Macbeth.
No, I didn't see that.
Pretty cool.
Well, the other thing I was wondering too, now that we're talking about, Ricky was carrying a grip bag the other day. During his practice round.
Yeah.
And, obviously he had to carry a DD bag with.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was Ridge Roller.
Yeah.
He had the. I don't know. Or is he going to be sponsored by, or is he going to get a sponsorship by Grip for the season?
But man, he had that Zuka cart though. Like he had that Zuka cart that was made for Ricky.
Right. I know that is true. So
I wonder if DD.
I was wondering if that was through a DD thing, or if that's because. Yeah, I mean he's changing a bunch of other things. Like he's got a new tour manager again this year. I think he said Joey Tamale is going to be help him with content and like editing and stuff. He said that at the end of the back nine of the practice round. I wonder if Ari's coming back. He's changing in like or if it's going to be somebody solely. Yeah, because he had some other guy last year.
Yeah, Ari was better. Do you think there was a jealousy thing between his wife and Ari?
His wife?
Or girlfriend?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Or maybe Ari was his girlfriend and then...
No.
Wasn't Ari old?
Ari was married. Yeah. It was like his friend's wife, or like, I don't remember what the situation was, or a guy, like one of his friends, and like, yeah, I think that's what it was, like a friend's wife or something. And then she's like, well, I could do this for you. And like went on tour. And then I think things happened between her and her husband or something. And I don't know. Mm-hmm. Don't want to speculate, but I think that's kind of what happened.
Good old Ricky.
Jealousy.
Yeah, I know.
Once you get those raptor legs working.
I know. Marriage wrecker. All right. Anything inspirational? Did you remember the quote?
No.
Jeepers creepers.
I know.
Do you have anything inspirational to say?
No. Big dramatic pause.
I know. I was like, oh, he has something, and then nothing.
No, I was just going to say, don't follow too close behind snowplows.
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
Just because of the spray coming.
Yeah.
No, oh my gosh, we had to go to practice this morning, and running, like I was snow blowing the driveway, and Melissa was like, you got to go. It's like, time to go. I was like, relax. We got enough time. Like, I know we got
plenty of time.
Yeah. And so we leave, and slow traffic in front of me. I was like, okay, great. Like, we're still making decent time, but like, we were slowing down to like 45 miles an hour on the highway. And I was like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden we catch up to, 7 cars in front of us. I'm like, no. And they're going 30. I was like, what the heck are we going 35 or 30 on the highway for? Snowplow in front of them. Nobody wanted to pass him. So we ended up getting to practice like 5 minutes later. So, which not the biggest deal in the world, but I was like, I got plenty of time.
Isn't it incredible how much snow just like all of a sudden Wisconsin stops.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, every year
Yeah.
we got plows, we got salt.
I know.
Everybody has a 4-wheel drive up here. Yeah, but they were pretty bad. I had to pull. Well, I pulled one person out, and then I helped like 45 people. It was incredible how many people stopped to help this lady.
Oh, really?
But she, you know, where you go down F here and you just keep going, and then it tees. You know, it just tees. You make a right there.
On like Meadow?
Yeah, I think it's Meadow.
Okay.
And you know how it just goes straight into the field there?
Yeah.
She just like whoop, pow, right off into that field.
Oh,
you know, it's like a pretty big ditch there.
Okay, yeah.
So there was like 5 guys on the bottom pushing and guys on the top pulling.
Oh, man.
Finally ended up getting it out.
Yeah.
But it was like, there was like 18 cars just stopped helping. I've never seen that before.
Holy cow.
And I was like, do you want me to just like throw a chain on the control arm and I'll just pull her right out? And she's like, and they're like, no, you'll end up ripping it up. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Like, I'll help push. So, and then the next person was actually just on Z. No. F. A, and a F.
Okay.
Who's just off of F up here, just past Northern Sky. And they were like off in the ditch. And I was like, holy moly. But they had a tow hook on the front. So I just like hooked a chain easy. And I was like, all right, just hit the gas and pull up on the road. And it just pulled them out. So it was kind of nice. But yeah, but it's amazing how people just kind of forget how to drive in snow.
True.
It's incredible. And I only fell twice in my parking lot. I parked and I actually have a picture of the fall. But I parked in the parking lot and then I got out of the car and I was just walking like normal.
It was a little icy under the snow.
It was a lot icy under the snow here. So I showed him a picture of my body imprint in the snow when I fell. It didn't hurt. Like nothing hurt. And it wasn't this big, like crazy fall. I just kind of like went to my knees. And then when I put my hand down, my hand slipped out. So I did one of these like poof.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what they call that, the greatest stretch in the world or whatever, where you like, you know, you do that thing. It's like a yoga pose. Yeah, so that's kind of how I was. And I actually just stayed there for a couple seconds just going like, this is stupid. Why do I not live in Texas? Yeah. So check for ice under snow or wear your yak tracks.
Yeah.
And then you won't slip and fall. So, all right. Outside of that, anything else to leave them with?
No.
All right.
We're good.
Keep us up par and deuces in the toilet. See ya.